Are you kidding me? Alright guys, I'm sorry. I hate stupid OBS because every time you do it, it doesn't seem to want to work. And when I set the live broadcast for the original one I did, it didn't go on, and I had to do another one. It just pisses me off. So I'm sorry I'm late, but I guess that's the way it goes. And that's how it happens. I'm trying to get the chat on here. So you should be able to hear me good. I'm actually using my ZV-1 camera with the mic that's built in, so we could get a clear picture. And sorry. So this is just talking about everything that happened in Home Racing World. Wanted to thank Harry and Cindy and Mark and Tracy at MT Racing for the hospitality they gave me for everything. Harry put me up in the no-tell motel, which was cool, and didn't have to spend money on a hotel, which I appreciate that. And it was just the gas for the drive. And it's about a 12.5-hour drive, sometimes 13 depending what route you take. If you go 40, it'll travel through Tennessee, which really sucks, which I did the first time when I was heading there, and I don't like doing that because the traffic in Tennessee is terrible and the roads are just all really just small in the city. So the other route I came back on was an alternate one. I think it's 74 that goes through West Virginia and the mountains and stuff, which is a lot better. The only thing is there's $12 worth of tolls. So West Virginia has 3 toll areas in that highway, and it's $4.25 a car, so it's about $12 and 75 cents, but that's fine, no big deal. It was worth it coming back that route. So yeah, I'll talk about that cars in a minute here, John Tucci. So what I wanted to share was that, and again, OBS is really pissing me off today because I can't really get it to do what I want to do before I did the live, and then the broadcast that I had, how would you say, saved for it, didn't turn it on, then turned it off. And so anyways, that's why I like Ecamm better, because it's so much easier. This one's just a pain in the butt, but it has its little pros and cons with this one as well. So what I wanted to share was about this car right here. So this car I got from Harry, and it's part of what they call the Glory Days. So this is a H&R chassis, I believe. These are homemade urethane tires from Dave, and this is one of Dave's builds. And you can see he's got, I don't know if you can see, focus on that, come on focus. You see the guy's got a cigarette in there, and very well detailed, even though Dave says this is when he didn't know how to paint. I would have to beg to differ because I can't do the cigarette thing yet, and that looks pretty good. And again, this is a cool car. It's got its own engine in there as well. So, and this was given to me, and what this goes back to from what Harry told me is there's a painting that's made out of water paint, or a water paint painting that a artist did, and I can't remember the name, but I'll show it to you, and it's called Glory Days. And there's a photo of it right there. So that is the picture that inspired Harry to build I think 2 of those cars, because I've seen them, and then Dave saw that photo and got really excited, and this is what he came up with. And it's, old Ford car, or Chevy I think it is, I'm not too sure. I think it's a Ford actually. And it's an old Ryder, and what's nice is that it's a piece of history, because that's when, before we had a lot of parts. Obviously they had the H&R chassis, but they didn't have all the other stuff that we have now, like tires and wheels. They had to do this as they went, and obviously this is the old H&R motor here, and this is where you could slide the chassis, obviously, and move it up and down and stuff, which is pretty cool. I wanted to also thank to all the guys that entered a car in, and the guys that watched, and that are interested in building a car. I think it's real important that scratch building is really exploited more, because a lot of times, you know, I've tried to get some people to do it, you know, around here, and they just don't want to really deal with soldering, and they'd rather deal with, you know, tuning the plastic cars, which is nothing wrong with that, because you want to do what's within your threshold of knowledge and your will to do it. But I try and encourage a lot of the scratch building, and you know, this past couple of days, you know, past days in the home racing world, as always, it's fun, and it's just really cool that we're able to just really see all that stuff. And I really exposed a lot of that as much as I could, because I know in the past we haven't been able to do it as much, just a few lives. I figure I did a lot of videos on just the cars themselves in general. But that water painting, or yeah, water painting right there is called Glory Days, and I think I can't remember the name. If you could tell me, there you go, Dale Klee. Thank you, Harry. I couldn't remember his name. I looked up Glory Days, and that's just what it came up with. And it's a cool painting. It is available for $55 online if you want to get a copy of it. But that is the painting we're talking about. Was that one in particular. Another thing that I wanted to kind of show was that the different builds that the guys did. So I'm going to do a slideshow, and forgive it for being crooked because I can't get it straight, the stupid thing. So we have you know, a couple of the cars here. And I have this playing on a slideshow so you can see the different chassis designs that are on this that the guys made and where they placed their weight. This is Bubba's car, and there is Jim Anthony's hot rod, which he did a really cool job with doing a how would you say, a independent axle, or in a way, I can't remember the term for it now, my mind's going blank. And then he used the tires from the kit. And we have different ones here. That's his right there still. And it was really cool to see everybody's builds and what they did and the uniqueness. This one right here, they used a textured paint, kind of like a plastic coat paint, and it worked. And you can see where he mounted it down there. Really cool spot right in the middle. And this is the things, when you see these, you get different ideas from everyone else on how you could do you know, different things. This is Frank Sisto's car, and there is Mr. Squire's car. Some of these are all mixed up and not in order. And his car did real well. You just need to drive it a little bit differently. Showing the same one again. It may be cycling the same thing, but I got everybody's car on there, I believe, in this slideshow. And hopefully it's working. I have a feeling the stupid OBS is not doing what I want it to, because it's not doing all the pictures, probably doing just a few of them. Yep, so that's what you get for using OBS. It's just crap. So I should have cycled all those photos, and it didn't. I had a bunch more photos. But anyways, I just wanted to show you a few of those. I'm sorry I couldn't show any more. But those are the different builds that are there, and it's really nice that you can see everybody else's, you know, different things and stuff like that, and see what they do. And then I did a video on these USAC cars. So this was the precursor to the Showdown cars, and this was a gift also from Harry. And this is what they used to do. This is basically Carrera chassis with some old urethane tires. I'm not sure if these were homemade or if Paul Gage started making tires, but and then you can see that how they screwed it down, and then they lowered it, and they basically, it's a repaint, because there was a lot of these cars. They put a mesh in the back there, and you know, for air cleaner, filled some holes in it, because that's how they look like. Put a grill mesh in the front of the car. Let me focus. Damn thing, focus. If you can see that, it's not focusing. Maybe if I get out of the frame here. But well, technology got a lot. Anyways, that's this car right here. They're asking, the purple car was actually the Glocksback, I think this is Glocksback, you know, Superbird from NASCAR. This was entered the Mark Thomas proxy, so this is a chassis, a brass chassis build. So that's what that car somebody was asking. But pretty much just basically had a real good time. And I want you guys to understand that there's also the Labor Day Shootout. So the Labor Day Shootout is a fun run. So basically it's a car, if you want to build a car for fun, for the Showdown, with the Showdown rules, go for it. I think we're still holding on to the old rules on the motors, but we have to clarify that with Harry. I think it's the Winterfest is when we're changing to the newer motors. So if you're going to enter the Labor Day Shootout, the old motor rule, I believe, will still exist. So the Piranha and I think that's it, just the Piranha motor is what we're using. And for 1/32 scale for mods and showdowns. But the Winterfest, that's going to change because Harry has posted that. And of course, the Winterfest, we're going to have a lot of good stuff coming up. There'll be another series of, like we did in the Hot Rods, not Hot Rods though. I'm not going to say anything because I want Harry to announce it because he's trying to work on the rules and everything. Because we talked about it and we did a small video about it, so I ain't saying anything about that. But for the Labor Day Shootout, you guys, if you want to build a car and it's a fun run, it's not an actual event. If you feel like building a car and doing it, by all means, please do with the old motor rule. Now for going to the Winterfest, there is something coming up at the end of September that's going to help everybody build chassis. I can't say any more about that. I don't want to, but I'm just saying if you plan on building a car for the Winterfest, hold off until the end of September on getting parts because something's coming up with that. So I won't say any more about it. I'm just saying just hold off. But for the Labor Day Shootout fun run, if you want to build a chassis and send in the car, by all means do. I plan on doing one, so I have to get to work on one now. Maybe 5. No, I'm just kidding. I'll probably get to work on a few then. I'd like to do a mod. Another thing I want to discuss all is modified cars. Modified cars are a little bit more, how would you say, a little bit more involved, not as much. It's just more about bending wire and making wire chassis, or you could just probably use the regular brass if you wanted to make a small modified and make it work. But I know those cars are a little bit more, how would you say, different to make. One thing I was shown is that you could use Plastistrut as a body if you were to just mold it out and make it look like a mod body. I'm sure that would be acceptable. So you guys could think of that. And I mean model kits from a motor from a model kit or something like that. And if you're real serious, just we'll see about helping you out a little bit with the motor part of it, because I know the mods are a little bit more involved, but we want people that are seriously into building. We don't like, what happens is that, and I've seen it on eBay recently, is that, for example, this body is the Shapeshifters Camaro that Harry made. I actually saw this on eBay, somebody selling it, so it means, and excuse me, some asshole backcasted this and probably did a shitty job at molding this and selling shitty cars. So, and I think that's kind of wrong. That's why it's very difficult to send things to certain, to people who are, if they're really serious, sometimes they say they are and you send them a bunch of stuff and then they never do it, and then they go ahead and backcast stuff like that just to make a profit. And this is not about making a profit, it's about getting people involved in building a car. And that's the whole point of this, and it's really important that that we get the right group of people together that are serious about building something. So it's just something that that I feel that in the community we're careful about. So, and I know the guys that built cars, obviously Michael Squire, he asked about building a mod, and then Harry, sure enough, and I packed it, sent him a Falcon body, because he knows he's serious, because he built a car already for the for the hot rod event and the showdown. So that's the thing that if you really want to do something like that, what I suggest is you build a car for the Labor Day Shootout and go from there. Just build a car for the Labor Day Shootout. It doesn't have to be mod. Just build a showdown car, at least to get you kind of into it. And if you feel that you're ready for a modified, then maybe we could help you out. I'd be personally willing to help you out. But we want people that are seriously wanting to do it, not a bunch of BSers, because we don't want that. It's important. And I'm not looking at the comments here. I do have my iPad, so I'm sorry if I'm not reading everything. But all I can tell you is, let me say hello to everybody. I didn't really say hello to everybody here. So I know some guys are on early. So we got Slot Car Wildman, Scott Marble, and Mr. Tow Truck Marble. We got the Shotgun Express chassis builder there. We have De Leon. We have Mr. Harry, of course, Mr. Slopfather, Home Racing World. We have, who else do we got here? We got a couple more people. John Tucci was in here. Donald Baker, or Barker, I'm sorry, I keep saying Baker because it was written on your car, Baker. Donald Barker. He did a pretty cool truck. We called it, I think his was the Grey Ghost. Mark was calling it the Grey Ghost. And I got the Fingers, of course. And I think I mentioned Raul. And then we got Tony Tibbs Slot Escape. And I think I have everybody, I'm not sure. Let's see. Yep, as Harry says right there, there's no official event on Labor Day. It's just for fun. No live coverage, no lap times. It's a barbecue with toys. So there you go. If you want to build something just to send it in, I'm sure Harry will do a quick video on something, but he's not really, doing a lot to make it an official event. It's just to have fun with, whoever wants to get involved. I mean, even if you just send the car and run it, you could leave it there for the Winterfest if you want. I'm sure Harry would be fine with that and run it then. At least you'll know what it, get a little breakdown of the car, how it does. But, so, what was I going to say? So, I was going back to just, on that right there. I'm looking forward to seeing more people really get involved, like I said, especially in the Winterfest. Because, again, there's going to be some good stuff happening. I want you guys to, hopefully you'll join in on the fun, because I had a lot of fun with the Hot Rods to HRW. It was a real great event. It was really nice to cover everything. I had a great time. I'm going to try and make it Labor Day if I can. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try and make it. And there you go. And Harry said if you wanted to keep it there for the Winterfest, you can. So there you have it. You just said it right there. But if you want more time to build, then that's fine. Just enter it in the Winterfest. But pretty much just about it, really. I don't know if you guys saw Raul's latest video. I thought that was a real cool video, because the whole point of that video, and I posted something on Home Racing World Facebook page. The reason why I posted that was because that really is definitive of what the whole hobby is about. He had a couple of his friends come over who are not, heavily into slot cars and might be now, and they both were racing each other and they were having a bunch of laughs, and that's what the whole thing is about. That's what all of what we do also for these events it's about, is having fun. And you saw that when I videoed everything. Everybody's having a good time, a couple of wrecks. We did a little grudge match in a race, within a race, which was kind of like another impromptu thing, because I had saw that Matt B had made a John Milner car, so I figured I'll make a Falco one. So, but that's the fun of it right there. It's just to have fun. But I hope you guys will really get involved in it. You can see the chat here, everybody talking, and it's going to be something really, really cool. Having to hope get everybody involved in that. I'm looking forward to that. So, but any questions on anything? Again, if you guys need help with builds, I'm going to give you my email, because sometimes some guys will ask me stuff, and I would definitely like to give them a hand. But one thing I ask that you do when you do email me and you have some issue, because I do get some emails and they tell me, something's not soldering right or something like that, and they only just kind of just give me words. I usually ask for pictures, because it kind of helps for pictures and videos to see what you're doing, just to kind of troubleshoot, because it's hard to troubleshoot with just text. Sometimes always a picture, like they say, it says 1,000 words. So if you're having a problem with something soldering, then send me a photo or a video, and maybe I could kind of help you out with that. Because I know sometimes I'll get that, guys will say that, hey, it's not soldering like it should, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But again, it's something I'm willing to help you out with, as I put my email there. So give me a message if send me out an email if you feel that you need help with something. And also you could get a hold of me on the Facebook Messenger as well through Area 51 Raceway NC. There's on the page there's a message, and then usually it replies with greetings, and I will answer back. So, and I always try and help as many people as I can that need help, with small things. I can send you some links for parts if you're having trouble looking for something. But when the end of September comes, I think that'll be alleviated a lot, because there's something happening there. Like I said, that's really big, so you guys could make it easier for you. But let's see, Tony Tibbs here. Let's see what you're saying here. I like to build a Valiant Regal as my dad won, and it was a kid. I'm struggling to find the body and the file I can get printed. So a Valiant Regal, I'm assuming, is that a Dodge product? Because when I think of Regal, I think of Buick Regal, and I may be wrong, so if you could correct me on that. Got Raul here. Or George will just live chat, and George will stay up until 2 a.m. fixing things. What an amazing guy. Thank you, George. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that so Raul had a problem with his Omni slot box. So, and the problem was really simple. He had done a real good job with getting the digital part, and then it was really nice. He had a layout where he had junctions, and it went to all these taps. So his track is big. So he's got like taps every 10 feet is what they recommend, every 7 to 8 pieces, or 7 to 10 pieces of track. So he had a nice layout where he had everything junction, and then he had the jumpers going right to the Omnibox. Well, the problem he had is that he didn't realize that the 12 volt pack is the one that powers the analog side, because he didn't have no analog power. There was nothing. And then one thing he didn't have was the jumpers from the box should be going to the power supply, because that's where you want to have all that at the power, at the CU, not the power supply, but at the CU, to go to the rest of to the box, and then it'll feed power everywhere else. And then the 12 volt power source, which he didn't know, but he was getting a little frustrated, so we kind of took a good hour and a half. He took everything apart. We went through with the voltmeter and checked everything, and we found the problem. It was really simple, and we got his track up and running in analog. So that's how he was able to have fun with that video with those guys, racing, which was cool, because those guys were racing analog cars. They were racing those Scalextric durable plastic cars, which were really cool, and they were having a lot of fun, which is good. No problem, Donald Barker. But that's a charger. Okay, how about a charger? There's a lot of charger kits out there. 1/25th scale. I mean, if you one day you want to do 1/25th scale, you could also build cars just for fun for your own track. I mean, that's what I did. I didn't necessarily have anything for besides building showdown cars, I would send something I built just for fun, just as a fun car. So example, like the mod, I built a 1/25th scale mod. I just sent it to Harry along with my showdown cars, just something he could show off and just run around and see. So I mean, there's different ideas you could do with just building your car for yourself for fun. I like building for fun. It's a lot of fun being able to build different things, out of kits. And I have a lot of kits, so I mean, now I do. So that's what's so cool about them. But I just want everybody to get more involved in just doing a lot of stuff. And it's always great to build something that you can't buy, and that's what's kind of like the really beauty of all this, is buying something making something you can't buy. That's the whole point of that. So, but as Harry said on that one, likely not going to find one. Never seen one made in scale, so not too sure if they're going to have something like that. But I'm sure you could find a Chrysler model close to it, unless you could 3D print it, like you said earlier. Somehow make it. But if anybody has any questions on anything else, but that's pretty much it. I just wanted to recap. I had a real great time, and thank you. I wanted to thank all the guys that made all the comments on all the videos. I really appreciate it. I wasn't really able to answer all of them, because there's a lot of them, and I'm really glad you enjoyed everything, and it was a lot of fun. and I look forward to doing more with trying to get the the scratch building more involved with everybody. So if anybody's interested in doing it, take the dive. Not too hard to do. There's a lot of first-time builders. It was Tad, first-time builder in trucks and a showdown car, and then you had Don Barker. Who else? Jim Anthony. This is the first time he sent the car in. He's built more cars. He's built some cars before for his Carrera track, for some of his Carrera cars, but that's the first time he did a 1/25th scale car. And then you have Bruce Brecky. He built 2 of them. And Matt B. I think that was his first build, but I could be wrong. Probably not. That's the first time I've seen one of his builds. So it's cool. And then Scott Marble, if that's your first build, again, that's cool seeing first-time builders come out with some really cool cars. And it was a lot of fun seeing that. And that's what gets it really exciting. But anyways, so if you plan on building a car, I'd love to see that. That is a 4-door Scott, yeah. 4 doors. But anyways. And there's Frank there. Hello, Frank. I have your stuff when you come here Monday, so I have your car and a few things for you from Harry. So, but anyways, that's pretty much it. Anybody else have any questions on anything? Please, email me, or if you have any questions here right now about building anything, it'd be cool. Make a lap with that old Torino? Oh yeah, sure. Let's see. Here we got. Oh, we got to turn the power on. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. This is an old USAC car. This is the precursor to the Showdown car. Before we were able to have parts to build Showdown cars. This thing's a lot of fun. And good around the track. Or an old warrior, as Harry would say. Donald Barker, the part of NCM, I am in High Point. So High Point is in between Greensboro and, what would be the next closest city? I guess you'd say, I would say it's near Greensboro. We're near the Greensboro airport, so that's where High Point's at. But, this is a fun little car. I'll switch cameras to the cam right there. Oh, just like that. That back on there. You went too hard. Hope you can see that, guys. Oh, here we go. Another wipe out. Let me try and tilt this camera a little bit more to get a better view of the track. There you go. A little bit better. Can't see the outside lane too much, but oh, see me crash. Let's go to the red lane so we can see more there. Go to the red lane. Because Harry asked me to run this baby, and why not? There we go. Fun. This is before the Showdown class was created. It's what Harry and those guys used to run a long time ago. There we go. To run this oldie but goodie here, so this is the Glory Days old Fords here. Not super fast, but yeah, it's fun to get these big cars going here, and look at this thing, it's great. Oiled it up and checked a few things, and it works just fine. Old looking car there. There we go. run of that car there. So, just another little hot rod run there. Also wanted to thank, and I know he's not here, so his name is Bo. It's actually Bjorn, I think is his name, or Romand. I can't say his name in German. I'm assuming that's what it sounds like when I see it on the email. So he insisted on sending these razor angle tools from Germany. And when I opened the box, and he really went through a lot of trouble to get it through customs to send here to the US, because he's from Germany. And this is from a company called Helios Precier. And these are just really precision tools. So, and you could remove that piece right there if you don't want this, you know, angle like that. But I mean, these are really, really nice of him to send me these. You know, I told him he didn't have to, because he was telling me the process to get it through customs, just to send me little tools, you know, from Germany. And here's one for like bigger scale carts. But I mean, these are really nice, and I want to tell him thank you very much. I really appreciate you sending these to me. And he didn't want anything for them, and I offered and I insisted, but he didn't want to take anything. I even offered to cover the shipping, but he didn't want to do it because he appreciated the content that we do. So thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. There's something coming to you. I've talked with Raul, so he'll be sending you something. And again, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. That's really nice of you. And I will put them to use, because it's nice to have some tools there to help you out with, you know, getting things nice and straight. But let's see. Hey James, how you doing? Can you post a link to them? I don't have a link. All I could tell you is the name of it. Let me put this on camera. All you have to do is type in this name. If you can see that, that's the name of the company right there. And you could, you know, screenshot that. Come on, damn thing. There it goes. Get myself out of the frame. But that is the name of the company right there. I typed it up, and it's a company that makes a lot of little precision tools. But that's the name of the company. I don't have a link to it. I just had to research it before I started looking at it. But pretty interesting. Like I said, Helios Precier. It's kind of I don't know how to say that in German. I'm assuming that's a German name. So, and there's a part number there for it. But I think if you look up angles, it'll come up. But thank you very much again. That was really, really nice of you. I really appreciate that. That's, you know, really, you know, very nice of you. But any other questions for anybody? Because I'm gonna probably jump off here. I just wanted to do a live thing on basically on the Labor Day shootout. If you want to do a fun run for your car, and the Winterfest. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of builds on the Winterfest. Hopefully we'll get a new guys building, and we get also the guys that did new builds this past event to come back again, because that's what it's all about, is fun in the hobby. And if you need any help or anything, just don't bother to, just go ahead and email me or message me on the Facebook page if you're looking to help. No problem, Scott. No problem whatsoever. So I'm going to sign off for now. I want to tell you thank you very much again for looking in on the event and your kind comments and your thank yous. And thank you to Harry and Cindy for putting me up and feeding me. And it's funny enough, the slot car burger got more hits than anything in the shorts on my page. Not that I look at analytics, I was looking at just the hits, just to make sure what was more popular and the types of videos I did. And the burger got over 2,000 hits, so obviously food is on everybody's minds. And yeah, that was a big hamburger, but I ate everything that was put in front of me, so that's just really really cool. And I really thank you, Harry and Cindy, for all the hospitality. And then Mark and Tracy, they were real gracious to feed us lunch at their facility, and that place is wonderful. If you haven't seen the video on it, please go check it out. And also, please join the forum board on homeracingworld.com. That is really important. You'll find a lot of cool stuff there at the Home Racing World forum board. and I recommend you join and check it out and introduce yourself, and even say, hey, I'm really looking forward to scratch building or something like that, and just join in on the conversation. That's what it's all about, conversating and having fun. So thanks again, guys. As always, you take care and have fun racing.